Hi, this video is about using Fiore's approaches and styles in SCA combat. So we're going to talk about a couple of different plays and then try to extract what's common with them and try to figure out a way to use that and to drill that and to learn how to apply that to SCA rapier, cut and thrust, and armored combat. You could probably also use it for other HMA and those kinds of combats as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at 3 different plays, and what I want you to do while we're looking at these is to try to think about what's common about them. What are the features that appear in all of these different plays, even though they're very different. So these 3 plays we've already filmed. They're available in a very long format on our YouTube channel here. I'm going to cut in a couple of real quick short bits to remind you what they were, and then I'll come back and talk about it. All right. I'm going to start with a thrust because he looks like I'm open, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to step into it, sweep offline, and now I have the option of delivering my point anywhere I want, probably to his throat. All right, so you've watched those 3 plays. If you want to, go and review the full version of those plays on the other videos on our website. What was common about those 3 plays? And I think they're also common about all the other Fiore plays, or almost all the other Fiore plays we've talked about on our website. So to me, one, the master has let the opponent initiate the shot. Once the opponent initiates and is locked into that blow, the master steps into the blow to intercept it before it can develop, before the power is full and before it can land. So then he interrupts it, he deflects the shot so that he is safe, and then he has built an opening and he delivers a killing blow, a strike of some sort. So those are the steps that we are going to try to develop for application to SCA rapier, cut and thrust, or armor combat, and we're going to talk about methods to drill that. So what are the skills you need in order to be able to do those steps? So the things that we're going to try to work on and give you some drills in order to build your skills are on analysis, understanding what your opponent is likely to do and able to do, planning, understanding what you can do that's effective in order to keep yourself safe and to set up a good response that'll be useful for you. And execution, we're going to talk about actually practicing and building your muscle memory so that it happens quickly. Welcome back to part 2 of using Fiore in SCA combat. Hopefully you've watched part 1. If not, please go watch it now. So part 2, we're going to talk about 3 different drills to help you build the skills that we identified in part 1. To do this, for 2 of them, we're going to use our Fiore flashcards. They're available on our website. You can print them out for yourselves. This particular set has all of the longsword postas in Italian and English, and on the other side it has a picture of us in that position. So for the first drill, what we're going to do is we're going to read one of the postas, and then read a second posta, and we're going to move from the first posta, deliver a strike, and move into the second posta, and we'll continue that. To do this, for some variations, you can step forward as you're doing the drill, you can step backward as you're doing the drill, you can turn as you're doing the drill. All of those things are possible. And then for the advanced version of the drill, we'll do a version where you pick a location on your opponent and a type of strike, and regardless of where you're moving, you're going to deliver that strike in the middle as you're moving between the 2 postas. That can be a little awkward. That's kind of part of the point of this drill, to learn which movements are not really convenient to do and that you don't want to be delivering a strike from here to there. But it's possible. And one of the things you'll notice is, particularly in the awkward ones, you're going to flow through a couple of other positions in order to do the strike that you've picked. So for the demonstration of this advanced form, we're going to be delivering a strike to your imagined opponent's left side, a falling cut to your opponent's left side. So watch that as he demonstrates the advanced form. Iron Aiden's going to start in the Porta de Ferro Mezzana, which is middle iron gate. And he's going to step forward and deliver a strike and end up in posta longa, long position. And then from there he's going to flow to Dante di Giungario lo Mazzano, middle boar's tooth. And then to posta di Donna la Sinistra, left woman's position. To posta di Finestra, window position. And finally, to posta di Coda Longa, long tail position. All right, to do this, he's going to start back in long tail position, posta di Coda Longa. And he's going to deliver a strike to his opponent's upper left side, from his point of view, the right side, and end up in posta breva, short position. Going to deliver the same cut and end up in posta di Donna, woman's position. Same cut and end up in tutta porta di ferro, full iron gate. Same cut to Dante di Giungario, boar's tooth. For our second set of drills, we're going to do a drill that when Master Adon taught it to me, he called it a mirror drill. I have a different drill that I call a mirror drill, so I call it a chest drill for hopefully reasons that will be obvious here in a moment. And the idea here is this is a two-person drill. We're going to simulate a fight, but in each case, one person is going to move at a time, and that person's job is to clear himself so that he is tactically safe, that the sword is not pointing at him, and threaten the other person by pointing their sword at the other person. Once he's done that, he freezes, and his opponent has a turn to remove himself from being in check and putting his opponent back in check. And we go back and forth. The point of this drill is to help you understand when you are safe and when you are not safe, and how to get safe, because that will be important in a real fight, and we'll talk more about it when we come to our third drill. All right, we're going to start with some rapiers, and then we'll show you a version of this with long swords as well. All right, so we come on guard, and I'm going to initiate, and I'm going to put him in check, and I'm going to be safe. All right, so I'm going to stop, and it's his turn to change. All right. Now my turn. Okay. Is that clear what we're doing? You're just taking turns, making sure that when it's your turn, you're safe and the other person is threatened. That's the point of this drill. Okay. Now we're going to see it with the long swords. This is the longsword version of the chest drill. Again, the idea is to make sure you're safe when it is your turn and the other person is in check. Okay? So, he's starting in breva, and I'm starting in bastard cross, which is a sword and armor stance. So I'm already in check. My face is being threatened by his point, so I need to change that. So I'm going to step in to high serpent. And now I'm safe, and he's in check. All right? Okay. You moved too quick, but I was coming at his face. All right, so this will maybe a little more awkward to do with a long sword, but certainly possible to do. And hopefully what it's doing when you're doing this is you're learning when you're safe and when you're not, and what you need to do efficiently put the other guy in check in a way that is safe to yourself, protects you from his sword. Okay? All right, so now we've done that. Hopefully you can practice that and learn from that. Our third drill is again back to using the flashcards. We're using longsword flashcards, but you certainly can mix in, if you want to be fancy, you can mix in the dagger flashcards or the sword and armor flashcards and include those in your drill. This is a two-person drill. What we're going to do is we're each going to pick one of the postas, and we're going to stand there, and then we're going to discuss how a fight might proceed. And one person will initiate and try to slowly demonstrate where he might strike it where his opponent is open, and the other person will try to discuss how he might defend himself. Please do not do this at speed. We're doing this unarmored, just to understand how a fight might proceed and to identify where you're open, when you're safe, and when you're not safe. So our first example, we'll talk more about the safety thing, and hopefully that will become clear what we mean by that. For our third drill, we're going to use the same flashcards. I'm not going to pick them up because we've already chosen a couple of combinations that we want to demonstrate and illustrate things. But you would be using the flashcards so that the two of you are picking different stances, and then you're going to discuss how the fight might progress. In this case, the stances represent the middle of the fight. You've been fighting for a little bit, and you've ended up with your sword up here, and he's ended up with his sword down there in that guard, and now you discuss how this fight might progress from there. Please, while you're doing this, think about what you can do safely to protect yourself and cover yourself as you move in or move away. As you do this and work through all the different combinations, you'll learn what we call the rock, paper, scissors of the method. Basically, I don't want to be standing here in this guard when he's in that guard because I can't cover myself, so I want to retreat. Or I have a really good response here, I can cover him and I know what to do. So retreat is a valid option, but we're not going to show a lot of that. We're going to try to be more aggressive and try to examine if we have valid attacks, valid safe attacks, and if we can't find one, then we know we need to retreat. So that's the point of it. All right, so for our first one, Veronati's going to start in Posta de Fenestra on his left side. Fenestra, point at me. There you go. Italian is hard. And I'm going to start in full force too. Dante de Juggereo. Alright, so we both have nice, quick, easy attacks. I can rise and stab him in the belly. He can cut or stab to my face or upper torso. And it's a game of chicken. We both do that, we both die. And there's probably not much we can do that. So that choice, those choices are not safe choices. And that's what you can consider them, and I think you should consider them, but I want you to identify that that was a bad choice because it wasn't safe. So the better choice for me is I want to step in and I want to change to High Serpent, a half sword and armor card. And when I do that, I'm covering his quick attack all the way through it so that I'm safe for most of this movement. Okay? So I'm going to here. Okay, does that make sense? So that's my movement that's safe and covers me and gets my blade between his blade and me very, very quickly. Starting about here, in the middle of that shot, I'm safe. And now his sword is on the far side of the wall that my sword and both of our bodies are on. Tactically, I'm very, very happy with that. But he's unhappy with that. Because now I can stab him or do all kinds of mean things. Okay? So, and that should protect me from that thrust or cut if he decides to do that quick shot. So that's the point of it. If he's being a little more intelligent and trying to protect against my quick shot, then he will drop his blade and try to cover that stab in a way, and that protects him. He's done something that's safe and has put me in threat. So that's a good response. So we have all kinds of options, and we can discuss going through this middle of the fight several different ways and see what we think would happen and learn what the good options are and what the bad options are. Okay, so that's the way that drill works. All right, I hope you've enjoyed our drills and hope you can benefit from those. And now it is time for a pop quiz. So we have one particular blow that was used on me by the King at our most recent cut and thrust championship, and he beat me with it. He really confused me with it. But I've thought about it, and then we're going to talk about it. We're going to show it to you. We're going to pause for a moment to give you a moment to think about how you might respond to it, how Fiore might have you respond to it. And then we'll show you the way that we think you should respond to it and see, let us know if that lines up with what you came up with. As your pop quiz maneuver here, We're going to demonstrate a play that actually happened in the last cut and thrust tournament with me fighting His Majesty Dietrich. And he used a blow that was a high cut to my head, and as I parried it, he quickly flipped over and attacked the other side of the head, and I was out of position. So we're going to demonstrate how that worked in the actual fight that went badly for me. And then we'll pause for a moment and let you think about what my response should have been, and then we'll show you what we think my response should have been. All right, so here's the attack. I'm in breva, and he comes in and cuts at my head to my left side, and I reach up and parry it. And then he flips over and cuts me on the other side of the head, and my sword is over here out of position. I don't have anything to do with it. Okay? Now we're going to reverse and do the same thing, show you from the other side. All right. Same move from the other side. He cuts to my head. I parry. He flips the sword around, and I don't have time to bring the parry back. I get stabbed and cut in the other side of the head. All right. So if you would pause the video right here and think about what the proper Fiore response to that would be. And once you think you have an answer, unpause it and we'll show you what we think the answer is. Here's the answer, what we think the right answer to this is, a right answer. You certainly could retreat out of this, that's a valid answer, and live to fight another day, but I think we have a better, more aggressive answer to it. And the idea is what we've been talking about. We want to identify what he's going to do, we want to step into and interrupt the blow, and then once we have stolen the initiative, we want to make him pay for it. So I'm here, he starts that cut, and I'm going to step into it. I'm not going to let him develop to this point. I'm going to step into it before it gets here. Okay? So we'll start again. He starts, I step into it, I've intercepted it, and now my sword is in the right position to protect myself from that second blow, that after blow, if he tries to bring it around. And as he does that, he's in the position where I can cut him, depending on how the timing worked and I got in. But I certainly have a fighting chance of winning this fight. All right, I'm going to show that to you again. So he cuts, I step in, and ideally, I have stolen the initiative and get my blow in, and his sword is over here. It is safe. I'm safe because of the way that I intercepted his blow. He doesn't have the ability to flip over and get me in the offside of the head. My sword's already blocking that shot. Okay, we're going to rotate and show you that from the other side. Okay, same idea here, just showing you the other side. Can you see from this whole, as soon as I get contact, here we're kind of symmetric, but his plan is to come around my blade, which is going to be difficult for him to do. And my plan is to spin off of his blade and spin a little quicker. And I'm probably going to land it faster. Now, in Dietrich's case, he is faster than I am, so who knows how that would actually work. But against a normal opponent who has a similar speed and technique to you, hopefully that would work for you. Let me know if you have a different idea on how to proceed with that, but that I think is a good one. Thanks for watching our video. Check back for more later. Hit the subscribe button.